Hi guys, today's video is about Azathoth. It's big 2025, and people still makes absurd claims like Azathoth is beyond the first gate, or Azathoth is beyond the gates, or like Azathoth is equal to Yog-Sothoth. So today, we will debunk Azathoth. And by the way, this video is a transcript of my dossier on Azathoth, so I will put my document on the pinned comment. So this video will cover the letters and the actual stories. So let's begin with the letters. People use the letter of the family tree to prove Azathoth greater than Yog-Sothoth. This letter was sent by Lovecraft to a friend of his where his friend is making a literally joke, saying that he was fortunate that he was a descendant of the Roman god Jupiter, while Lovecraft replied, he has only demons behind him, and he is the descendant of the black crawling chaos. That's why he includes himself in the family tree. In the letter, Lovecraft includes things like Tsathoggua, invention of Smith, but in Smith's family tree, Tsathoggua has no mention of Yog-Sothoth at all. Another letter used, is this that someone sent me? The problem with this scan is that from my knowledge, this scan is fake. I read the volumes 1 to 5 of the letters, which contain all the available letters, and in none of these volumes there is a letter that talks of these terms of Azathoth. And the only Reddit page that talked about this gave the number of a letter which doesn't even talk about this. So yes, from my knowledge, this scan is fake, but even if the letter was legit, it would not matter, because in a far more distant letter, Lovecraft definitely answers the question if Yog-Sothoth is created or not, and the answer is no, he always existed. So, case close. I have seen people using the letters of Clark Ashton Smith with August Derleth to argue Azathoth greater than Yog-Sothoth. But this doesn't work on many levels, and first of all, Smith heavily based his knowledge of the work of Lovecraft with Call of Cthulhu alone. And this is clear as he does not know that Old Ones is a broader term in Lovecraft stories. Hilarious enough, he believes that Deep One equals Cthulhu spawn. Smith says that Azathoth is somewhere as the primal nuclear chaos, which is not true, only nuclear chaos in Whisper in Darkness, and says that Reen Tigoth, Chognyar Fong, etc., are spawn of Azathoth despite the total absence of evidence for the first and total impossibility for the second, as Chognyar Fong is literally an undimensioned entity that occupy a niche in our universe. In the last letter, Smith admitted he never read Lovecraft works in an analytical or critical way, but enjoyed each tale as if it was from a different work. And by the way, all these letters as main topic were about how to organize the mythos after Lovecraft's death, because Derleth wanted to make it a mythology based on good versus evil in a Christian way, and asked Smith if this interpretation was possible, which even Smith thought it was bad, LOL. So in short, Smith cannot be used for two reasons. First, death of the author, literally, and second, simply claiming those are his ideas on Lovecraft's story based explicitly on just Call of Cthulhu, and at the end admitting he never really cared about links between stories, etc., but just enjoying them. Now that the letter section of this video is over, we can go over the inverse section of the video, and we will start off with the evidences on why Azathoth is considered the strongest. In Fungi from Yuggoth and Haunter of the Dark Azathoth is stated to be the Lord of all things and dreams everything. These statements, however, have many problems. The first is that the statement of Lord of all things is just a legend that Blake remembered about Azathoth. And also we have a similar statement about Azathoth in Dreams in the Witch House, on which he is stated to rule over all space and time. In the ultimate chaos, which is most likely what the Lord of all things refers to, for Fungi from Yuggoth, everything regarding dreaming all is simply a lie. The wording of the statement, things he had dreamed but could not understand, does not even imply that Azathoth created anything through dreaming. It's like me saying I dream about a scenario that I don't understand. This doesn't mean I created that situation, or that if I dreamed about the universe, I created the universe. Besides, the phrase is in the past tense, had dreamed, which implies that Azathoth is awake, not actively dreaming, plus Nyarlathotep being able to strike Azathoth's head, which kind of more or less proves they are on the same plane of existence. Also, just do say, but if you try to say Azathoth is called the Lord of all things, so he is superior to everything in the verse, that's a blatant label fallacy. And it's on the positive side to prove where this authority rule extends over. Now let's uncover the evidence for why Yog-Sothoth is the strongest inverse. In the dream quest of unknown Kadath is stated that just 3 men have traveled and come back multiple times to other dreamlands in the court, but despite this, through the gates of the Silver Key is yet stated that no man since ancient times know where the Silver Key leads, which would mean that even just the first gate is superior to anything previously explained. Even Azathoth, as to get past the ultimate gate, you need to take the trial. After unlocking the first gate and meeting the Ancient Ones, to use the Silver Key as passport to it. If someone tries to say, but what if those 3 people that traveled through the Dreamlands and beyond are ancient people? Sadly, for you, in Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, one of these 3 people is Kuranes. That verbatim was a friend of Randolph Carter in the waking reality, so they are not. Oh, if someone tried to make the argument of, but Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath was never published, so it was never canon, you can't use statements from that story. This argument is so bad for multiple reasons. A publishing house does not determine the canon of a fictional verse, the author does. Also, this man, Lovecraft, hated all of his stories. But yet, despite this, after some time, he tends to publish those hated works, like, for example, From Beyond, and besides, all this talk is completely pointless, as Lovecraft already stated that he uses Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath as source material. Okay, though, let's say fuck it. We don't want to use Dream Quest, there is no problem then. Because another story support my argument, that is The Whisper in Darkness. And you would ask why? Because in that story, we are told that only 50 humans have ever had a trip to the outside. What is the outside? Where the other gods rule while in through the gates of the Silver Key. Besides what previously stated by me, it's also stated that only 11 times, 5 of them being humans, Yog-Sothoth showed the ultimate mystery. As additional in the same story, Carter mocks the gods of Earth and their connection, which would include the other gods as they have an alliance with them. If someone tries to do some shenanigans with Necronomicon, it's also stated in Through the Gates of the Silver Key that Abdul al-Hazred has no knowledge of the Ancient Ones, and by proxy Yog-Sothoth, aka Supreme Archetype. So yeah, that's all. Azathoth caps below the first gate, Yog-Sothoth put belts on his ass. I will see you all in the next one.